It doesn't matter what year you were getting started in, the core advice to creating a good business remains the same, and that is to create awesome products.
You have to be using short form content, kind of in that Instagram Reels, TikTok style, to promote your products and to reach your community.
Just simply begin. I know it can be scary and it can feel very uncertain, but you got to start messy. You have to be able to have enough confidence to just begin and to test things.
One of my most successful, if you like, or effective ways to find trends and opportunities is just social media.
Hello, Printifiers. Martin here. The digital world has grown by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. With businesses moving online, the e-commerce industry is booming. There are new rules and expectations when we talk about the future of commerce. That's why right now is the most exciting time to dive into the print-on-demand world. What does POD have to offer us in 2022? We asked the top e-commerce POD experts about the trends and predictions for this year. Let's see what they had to say. What were the biggest challenges for you in 2021 while running your POD business?
So I'll admit, after the challenges that 2020 brought, 2021 was so easy, relatively speaking, that I had to think quite long and hard to come up with an answer to this question. So for me, most of my customers are based in the USA, but I do sometimes get orders from other countries, and international shipping had two challenges this year. The first is that there was a lot less business and tourist travel this year, and these flights carried a lot of the world's cargo. And so because of the fact that there was less planes flying, it meant that there was less international cargo flying, which meant then that international shipping was still slower. And the second challenge was that towards the end of the year, a lot of countries implemented border restrictions, which can slow down how quickly packages can clear customs.
The biggest challenge for me in 2021 was definitely Facebook and Instagram advertising. It's been kind of the core and the backbone of everything that I've done with print on demand over the last 5 years. And throughout 2021, we were dealing with the iOS updates and the tracking issues and all those kinds of things, especially in that first half of the year. And so it took some time to figure out kind of what tweaks to make and how to improve those ads to get better results. And I really found my groove at that back half of the year. And we started seeing some really important updates and our Facebook and Instagram ads becoming much more profitable.
The biggest print-on-demand challenge for me in 2021 was definitely just the sheer amount of different trends that were popping up. Seemingly month to month, there was always a new trend, and I had to make predictions about what I thought was going to be the most high demand and what people should really take advantage of. So it's a good problem to have, but I feel like last year, and probably this coming year too, in 2022, it's going to be just an explosion of different trends that we sort of have to sort through and decide which is the most valuable and which we might be able to just sort of leave alone.
What would be the 3 things to watch out for in 2022?
So niches relating to group activities are expected to rise massively in popularity. So you take weddings. In the USA, there has never been a year since 1984 that so many weddings have been booked for a single year. And so the wedding industry is gearing up to have one of its biggest years ever.
Number 1 is short form video. You think about the incredible rise we've seen of TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and Snapchat and even short form video on Facebook. It's just been this new type of content, this short videos that are kind of formatted for phone that have just completely taken the online content space by storm. And so I think as a e-commerce seller, as a print on demand seller, you have to be using short form content kind of in that Instagram Reels, TikTok style to promote your products and to reach your community.
First, I think the 90s and Y2K trend is going to continue to rise throughout this year. Last year, and even a little bit the year before, we started to see some different hints of it, but it's really began to explode in the last few months. Like I said, I think it's just going to continue to rise.
And personalization is going to be huge. Now it's already huge and it's just getting bigger and bigger every year. So you may have seen print-on-demand dog blankets where people submit a photo of their dog and then it gets printed onto a blanket for them. Well, with Printify, you can produce individual products and orders for customers.
The second thing is the reemergence of color. We've seen a lot of neutrality in color palettes over the last few years. And I think color is making a comeback, which is really exciting because I think it's super fun and gives print-on-demand sellers some really cool stuff to play with in terms of design. So I think we're going to see a lot more of it in 2022.
And while I am unfortunately not a TikTok expert, I can safely say that this app is only going to grow in popularity and it's going to continue to influence trends in the e-commerce space.
Aside from the economics and the downsides and stuff, is obviously the stuff we're always looking out for. What are the trends? What are the stories? What are the things people are going to be making jokes about and memes about and things this year? And that's hard to predict because these things usually, bubble under the surface for a while and people don't really see them until they pop out. But those are the things I'm always on the lookout for. So I'm always looking on social media and Instagram and Twitter and trying to figure out, hey, could that be a thing? Could that be could that be a joke? Could that be something that we're still talking about in a few months' time? Especially when you see particular jokes or particular topics get talked about, repeatedly on the same day or something like that. Usually it might be an indication that, there's maybe a topic or a trend here that might be worth paying attention to. So that's what I'll be looking out for in 2022.
The third thing I think we need to be watching out for in 2022 is festival vibes. So really colorful designs, psychedelic sort of feel, mushrooms, rainbows, that sort of stuff I think will continue to be rising quickly.
What would be your advice to everyone who wants to start their POD business in 2022?
My advice is that it doesn't matter what year you are getting started in, the core advice to creating a good business remains the same, and that is to create awesome products. Create a product that makes a customer go, wow, that is awesome, I really want to buy that.
My advice to anyone starting in 2022 would be to really take some time and figure out the right niche and really spend more time on your designs and finding designs and products that will really speak to your audience. Being niche down and finding a profitable niche and really differentiating yourself within that is more important than ever.
The advice I would give for print-on-demand sellers just starting to sell in 2022 would be to just simply begin. I know it can be scary and it can feel very uncertain, but you got to start messy. You have to be able to have enough confidence to just begin and to test things, to see what works and to throw away what doesn't. There is no failure, there's only learning. Getting on a platform like Etsy that has 80 million plus shoppers per year, a built-in traffic stream, is an amazing place to test your products and see what works and what doesn't. So just start.
What are your personal do's and don'ts for this year?
My top 3 personal do's and don'ts for the year. First would be going with the flow, being a little bit easier about everything. So I have a tendency to really go into push mode and force things into place if I have to, because I'm a go-getter and I really want what I want. But learning to go with the flow takes a lot of pressure off and it just makes things happen a lot faster and easier. It's a little bit of a paradox, but I'm definitely learning that flow is better than force.
While it definitely looks like international shipping is going to massively improve and be way faster, which is great, I still want to continue my trend away from international shipping and reroute even more orders to domestic print providers so that I can provide my customers with domestic shipping.
The second thing I want to do for 2022 is just be a little bit more self-disciplined in terms of my time, to put the most important tasks first, get those finished, and then move on to the fun stuff. One
of the things I'm focused on is ideas and idea generation and how we come up with ideas. How do you come up with funny jokes? How do you come up with funny phrases? So one thing I'm going to be focusing on is really trying to understand that better and actually try to figure that out and use it to create new ways to produce new ideas.
And the third thing is just not worrying about anybody that's doing better than me. I think this is something that a lot of us struggle with, especially in Instagram culture. It's very easy to compare yourself. I hear this a lot with my students and followers as well. When they see another shop or a seller that's doing particularly well, it makes them feel bad about themselves. And it can be a little bit deflating. It can make you put more pressure on yourself and make your journey feel a little bit harder than it has to. So I just want to really focus on what I'm doing and keep my eyes in my own lane and remember that I'm only competing against myself.
What are the most exciting new opportunities for merchants this year in the POD industry?
So of course, group event niches like weddings are going to see a huge influx in demand, and we're going to have to see a lot of new products made and added into the global marketplace to be able to match that demand.
The two new opportunities in print on demand that I see going forward are more products being added to the catalog, more unique products that maybe you wouldn't normally think could be printed on, or you wouldn't normally go to. They're not going to be the t-shirt or just the basic products, but there's going to continue to be new products added, really innovative products, really creative products, and things that will sell really well that maybe you wouldn't have thought of a couple years ago. So keep your eyes out for that.
It also looks like a lot more people are going to be traveling, which means that we're probably going to see a big influx in demand in that niche as well.
One of my most successful, if you like, or effective ways to find trends and opportunities is just social media and following the right people on social media, keeping an eye on that. It doesn't have to take hours of your day. It can just be 10 minutes a day where you scroll through and see what's happening. So that can be really helpful.
In terms of new opportunities for print-on-demand sellers this year, Printify has come out with so many new high-demand products. I think taking advantage of those new products and figuring out what your shoppers want, Printify has come out with new pillows, new pajamas, new stickers, and postcards, and all this different stuff that you can test out with your audience. I think that's a really smart move for the new year. It's just testing all different kinds of products and finding out what works for your audience.
To summarize, the print-on-demand industry is exploding now more than ever. That's why right now is the perfect time for you to jump in and get started. Don't forget to pick a niche, understand the needs of your potential customers, and offer a huge variety of products specific to your target audience. The demand for personalization will continue to rise this year. People love seeing their pictures or personalized text printed on various products, so make sure you offer that option as well. Lastly, keep your eye out for new items appearing in our catalog. Check back often because we're putting up new products on a weekly basis. Every new product represents a unique business opportunity. You never know what's going to resonate with your customers. These are just a few tips shared by our experts. For more insights from even more experts, check out our blog, link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more useful videos like this.